One SUV on this list costs €4,200 just to fix its exhaust system. Another catches fire while parked in your driveway. And the most shocking? An €80,000 luxury SUV that breaks down more often than a 20-year-old Fiat. European automotive agencies have issued warnings about these 9 SUVs that are financially destroying families across the continent. One owner in Germany faced a €12,000 transmission repair bill on a car barely 2 years old. Miss this video, and you could be the next victim of automotive fraud disguised as luxury. European SUV buyers are getting scammed on an industrial scale. While manufacturers promise reliability and luxury, the reality is devastating repair bills, safety recalls, and cars that lose half their value before you finish paying for them. We've analyzed reports from ADAC, which Euro NCAP, and collected real owner data from across 27 European countries to expose the 9 SUVs that'll bankrupt you in 2025. The automotive industry is hiding a dirty secret. Internal documents leaked from major manufacturers show they know about these defects but continue selling dangerous, unreliable vehicles to unsuspecting families. What you're about to hear isn't just poor engineering. It's systematic consumer fraud happening right now across European showrooms. If you're planning to buy an SUV this year, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, because this information could save you from the biggest financial mistake of your life. Starting at number 9, we have the Peugeot 3008. It looks modern with its futuristic i-cockpit, but underneath lies a mechanical nightmare destroying European families' finances. The 2024 and 2025 models use Peugeot's infamous 1.2 PureTech engine, the same engine that caused the wet belt scandal. Now, I know many of you will say that Peugeot now uses a timing chain and not a wet belt, and vice versa. But the truth is, only some models have switched to a timing chain, while others still use the revised wet belt system. The rubber timing belt runs inside the engine oil and systematically disintegrates, clogging oil pumps and destroying engines. According to ADAC's 2024 reliability report, 31% of 3008 owners experience complete engine failure before 60,000 kilometers. Here's where it becomes criminal. Peugeot knows about this problem. Internal documents revealed during French court proceedings show the company was aware of timing belt failures as early as 2020, yet continued selling these engines. The repair cost? €3,800 for a complete engine rebuild on a car costing €38,000 new. The diesel versions are worse. The AdBlue injection system fails regularly. 23% of diesel 3008s need this €4,200 repair before 65,000 kilometers. Then there's the March 2024 EU recall for faulty suspension components, risking total steering failure while driving. What makes this even more infuriating is Peugeot's response to complaints. Instead of fixing the fundamental design flaw, they blame owners for incorrect driving patterns or poor maintenance. Many owners report being told their warranty is void because they didn't follow Peugeot's obscure service requirements that aren't clearly explained in the owner's manual. Insurance companies have started excluding timing belt failures from coverage, leaving families completely exposed to these massive repair bills. The recall process has been equally disastrous. Despite knowing about suspension failures that could cause steering loss, Peugeot's recall notifications were deliberately vague, with many owners never receiving proper warning. The fix often involves replacing components with identical parts that fail again within months. European consumer groups have filed class action lawsuits against Peugeot, but the company continues selling vehicles with known defects while legal proceedings drag on for years. The financial damage is devastating. UK data shows 3-year-old 3008s holding just 41% of their original value, while Toyota's CHR retains 58%. That's a €15,000 loss on a €38,500 investment in just 3 years. At number 8, the Land Rover Discovery proves that premium badges can't hide engineered failure. Starting at €65,000, this represents one of Europe's most expensive ownership nightmares. The 2024 JD Power Study ranked Land Rover 28th out of 30 manufacturers, with the Discovery averaging 233 problems per 100 vehicles. The real killer is the air suspension system, designed to fail between 60,000 and 80,000 kilometers. Replacement costs €2,800 to €3,500 per axle. Here's the criminal part. Internal service bulletins show Land Rover expects these failures within this mileage range, yet they only offer a 3-year warranty that expires before failures occur. Average annual maintenance costs hit €1,847, but factor in inevitable air suspension replacement and electronic failures, and first-year ownership costs often exceed €4,500 beyond the purchase price. The worst part is how Land Rover handles these predictable failures. They've created a complex diagnostic process that requires multiple dealer visits, each costing €180 per hour. Even when the air suspension completely fails, leaving the vehicle undrivable, Land Rover often claims it's normal wear and refuses warranty coverage. Parts are deliberately expensive and sourced only from Land Rover, preventing independent repairs. Many owners report being stuck in cycles of temporary fixes that cost thousands but never solve the underlying problems. Adding insult to injury, Land Rover's service network is deliberately limited to maintain high prices. In many European regions, the nearest authorized dealer is hundreds of kilometers away, meaning owners must pay for vehicle transport when failures occur. The company has also implemented software locks that prevent independent mechanics from accessing diagnostic systems, forcing customers into their overpriced dealer network. This captive service model generates more revenue than actual vehicle sales, explaining why Land Rover has no incentive to improve reliability. Real-world fuel consumption is 11.2 liters per 100 kilometers, despite official claims of 8.4 liters. That's an extra €600 annually in fuel costs compared to advertised figures. Number 7 is the Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe, an €80,000 plug-in hybrid that's literally setting itself on fire. In September 2024, Jeep recalled 35,000 units globally because they were catching fire while parked or charging. Owners received urgent notices: do not charge your vehicle, do not park it near your home. Internal Stellantis emails showed the company knew about battery fire risks as early as March 2023, but continued selling these vehicles for 18 months. 3 house fires in the US were directly linked to Grand Cherokee 4xe battery failures before the recall. The hybrid system is poorly engineered, switching between gas and electric with violent jerking. Electric-only range is pathetic, just 43 kilometers compared to the BMW X5 hybrid's 108 kilometers. Insurance premiums are 40% higher due to fire risks, and these SUVs lose 52% of their value in 3 years. Even more shocking is how Jeep has handled the recall process. Many owners waited over 6 months for repair appointments, during which they couldn't safely use their vehicle. The fix often involves completely replacing the battery pack at a cost that would total the vehicle if not covered under recall. Some owners report their vehicles catching fire again even after the recall repair, suggesting the fundamental design problem hasn't been solved. European fire departments have issued warnings about these vehicles, and some parking garages now refuse to allow Grand Cherokee 4xe charging. And number 6, the Ford Kuga has earned Recall King status. The 1.5-litre EcoBoost engine has documented fire risks that Ford has known about since 2019. Ford has issued 17 separate recalls for this engine since 2020, yet continues installing the same defective design. The hybrid models are even worse. In February 2025, Ford recalled over 20,000 Kugas due to the defective battery modules that can overheat. Ford told owners not to fully charge their hybrid vehicles until a fix was found. Imagine buying a €35,000 hybrid SUV and being told you can't use its main feature because it might burn down your garage. Interior quality is embarrassing. Cheap plastic throughout despite costing over €30,000. The ride is harsh, steering provides no feedback, and customer service is non-existent. Average repair wait times exceed 21 days with poor parts availability. Ford's attitude toward these problems reveals their complete disregard for customer safety. When contacted about engine fires, Ford's standard response is to blame customers for unusual driving conditions or inadequate maintenance. They've created a complex warranty process designed to deny claims, requiring customers to prove they followed maintenance schedules down to the exact kilometer. Many owners report being told their warranty is void because they used the wrong brand of oil or had service performed at non-Ford dealers, even when using Ford-approved specifications. And number 5, the Maserati Levante, starting at €85,000, promises exotic performance but delivers financial ruin. The 8-speed automatic transmission is a ticking time bomb, poorly calibrated and prone to complete failures. According to J.D. Power's 2024 study, Maserati ranked dead last among luxury brands. The Levante had the highest failure rate in its class, with 31% of owners reporting major drivetrain problems before 50,000 kilometers. When the transmission fails, a replacement costs €8,000 to €12,000 plus €2,500 labor. Electronics freeze regularly, climate control malfunctions, and diagnostic costs start at €250 per hour. Parts from Italy can take months to arrive. 3-year-old Levantes lose 61% of their value, worse than any other luxury SUV. The Maserati ownership experience is particularly frustrating because of their limited dealer network and inadequate training. Most Maserati dealers are shared with other brands and lack specialized knowledge about these complex Italian systems. When something goes wrong, and it will, owners often find themselves in a nightmare of misdiagnosis and repeat failures. The warranty process is adversarial, with Maserati frequently claiming that electronic failures are caused by environmental factors rather than manufacturing defects. Many owners report spending more on repairs in the first 2 years than they would on a complete luxury car lease. Number 4 is the Alfa Romeo Stelvio. Starting at €42,000 but plagued by systematic electrical failures. The main wiring harness runs too close to hot engine components, causing insulation to melt and wires to chafe through. The brake system recall was terrifying. Brake calipers could crack without warning, causing sudden brake failure. Internal Stellantis documents show they knew about this problem 18 months before issuing the recall. Engine electronics fail constantly, with the control module costing €2,800 to replace. Customer service is virtually non-existent, with repairs taking months and no loaner vehicles provided. Annual maintenance costs exceed €2,100, and Stelvios lose 48% of their value in 3 years. What makes the Stelvio particularly problematic is Alfa Romeo's complete inability to train their technicians properly. The electrical systems are so poorly designed and documented that even official Alfa Romeo dealers struggle to diagnose problems correctly. Owners frequently report having the same issue fixed multiple times, only to have it reoccur within weeks. The diagnostic equipment at most dealers is inadequate for the complex electronic systems, leading to expensive guesswork rather than proper repairs. Alfa Romeo's response to complaints is typically to blame the customer or claim the problems are characteristic of the vehicle rather than defects. And number 3, the BMW iX starting at €85,000 should represent German engineering excellence. Instead, it's a software nightmare. The iDrive 8 system crashes multiple times per week, and BMW charges €2,800 for software updates that should be free. Internal BMW documents show they knew about software problems before launch but shipped defective products anyway. The charging system is unreliable, achieving only 60% of promised charging speeds. Build quality is shocking, panel gaps exceed 8mm, paint defects are common, and interior trim falls off within months. 2-year-old iX models lose 45% of their value as buyers realize the technology isn't ready for real-world use. The most infuriating aspect of iX ownership is BMW's approach to software problems. They treat their customers as unpaid beta testers, releasing half-finished software and expecting owners to tolerate constant bugs and crashes. When customers complain about fundamental software failures, BMW's response is often to schedule the vehicle for software training sessions where technicians attempt to teach customers workarounds for known problems rather than actually fixing them. The over-the-air update system frequently fails, requiring dealer visits for basic software updates that should happen automatically. At number 2, the Range Rover Sport starting at €95,000 represents automotive financial fraud. The air suspension is engineered to fail catastrophically, with complete replacement costing €3,500 to €4,500 per axle, potentially €9,000 for full system replacement. According to Which's 2024 survey, 43% of Range Rover Sport owners experienced electronic failures within 2 years. Average first-year ownership costs exceed €4,000 beyond normal maintenance. Real-world fuel consumption often exceeds 14 litres per 100 kilometres, €3,000 annually for someone driving 20,000 kilometers. Range Rover Sports lose 55% of their value in 3 years, and insurance premiums are 35% higher than comparable SUVs. Land Rover has perfected the art of planned obsolescence with the Range Rover Sport. They've engineered failure points that occur with mathematical precision just after warranty expiration. The air suspension uses deliberately inferior components that can't handle European weather conditions, ensuring predictable replacement cycles. When these expensive failures occur, Land Rover service advisors are trained to present them as normal maintenance rather than design defects. The company has created a captive customer base trapped in cycles of expensive repairs, with no viable alternatives once they're committed to Range Rover ownership. Taking number 1 is the Mercedes EQS SUV, starting at €115,000 plus and representing the worst value in automotive history. The digital light LED headlights cost €6,200 each to replace. When one fails, and they regularly do due to moisture ingress, you're facing a repair bill exceeding many people's car budget. The air suspension costs €4,890 per axle to replace. The Hyperscreen requires a €3,200 replacement when it fails, and even a door handle costs €890. Basic maintenance like brake fluid changes require Mercedes-specific procedures costing 10 times more than standard alternatives. According to ADAC's 2024 study, the EQS SUV had the highest cost per problem ratio ever tested. Average annual ownership costs exceed €3,800 beyond maintenance. 2-year-old EQS SUVs lose 58% of their value. A €70,000 plus loss on a €120,000 investment in just 2 years. Mercedes has created the ultimate wealth extraction machine with the EQS SUV. Every component is deliberately over-engineered to be unrepairable and outrageously expensive to replace. The service procedures are designed to maximize labor hours, with simple tasks requiring complete disassembly of major systems. Mercedes blocks independent repairs by refusing to sell parts to non-authorized shops and using proprietary software that requires expensive dealer diagnostic equipment. They've transformed car ownership from transportation into a subscription service where customers pay massive ongoing fees for the privilege of driving a depreciating asset. These 9 SUVs represent systematic consumer fraud disguised as luxury. Manufacturers are using European consumers as beta testers while charging premium prices for fundamentally flawed products. Components are engineered to fail just after warranty periods expire, generating massive service revenue. Before signing any purchase agreement, research reliability reports from ADAC, WICH, and Euro NCAP. Check recall histories and calculate true ownership costs including inevitable repairs, higher insurance, and accelerated depreciation. Smart European buyers are avoiding these 9 SUVs entirely, choosing vehicles from manufacturers with proven reliability records. Don't become another victim of automotive fraud. These 9 SUVs will bankrupt you while manufacturers profit from your suffering. Hit that subscribe button for more automotive investigations that could save you thousands, and check out our video exposing the 15 cars that Europeans completely refuse to buy. The reliability records will absolutely shock you.